Hey, Oklahoma City. I'm James Greiner, Councilman for Ward 1. I'm here today with Lenny Burt and Omega Harris. Both of them are from Putnam City West High School. Lenny's the head basketball coach who was awarded the Big All-City Coach of the Year this year. And Omega is a senior on the team, and he was the Big All-City Player of the Year. So thanks for coming on, guys.
No, it's a pleasure to be here.
Cool.
Thank you so much for having us.
Yeah, well, I'll start off by just talking about the season, because it was quite a season. You guys were state runner-up, won a lot of games, didn't lose very many, won quite a few tournaments even. You battled some things that came up during the season that really affects teams negatively, and you fought through them and still had a really successful year. So just kind of give me thoughts on your season as a whole.
Well, yes, we did battle a lot of adversity starting the season off, and won some national tournaments, recognized nationally as well as locally in Oklahoma City, in Oklahoma, I should say. We want to have ourselves get a chance to go through an adverse situation on the floor, but not as much off the floor. I mean, I don't know all year if we were ever full strength the entire 29 games. We end up being 26-3 this year. Started the season off 3-2, lost a triple overtime game to Houston North Shore, which eventually they won state title in Texas, and they were nationally ranked at the end of the year. They're actually third, number 3 in the nation by Max Preps. So we went triple overtime. So we that was a tough game for us, and Omega fouled out that game. Tyson fouled out that game, and Steve. So our 3 top players fouled out that game, which was tough, and it was kind
of common in a 3 overtime game.
Yes, when me and the coach, Coach Greiner, we actually talked about it after the game was over, because it was so early in the season. I think it was December 5th or 6th, something like that. So that was like our 3rd game of the year. We talked and we said, well, we know that either one of us probably going to be in the state championship game and represent Oklahoma, and they'll represent Texas. And they came out on top, but we got to the championship game, but we wasn't full strength. We lost Tyson Jolly along the year as far as health-wise. He battled some blood clots and whatnot. And, I mean, at one time, I think I said that we had the top 2 players on one team. Both of them were averaging about 18 points, which he almost averaged 19 this year, Omega. So that was definitely a 2-headed monster that we had, and we were battle tested all year and had some success. Brought some tradition to PC West that I think that people could look forward to seeing in the future as well. And Omega Harris, he spearheaded that since his sophomore year. I mean, he's really had a chance to put us in state every year, by his work ethic and just things he does on the floor and off as well.
Yeah, that's a really good point, because so many times it seems like Putnam City West is in the news for something negative. And so whether or not the football team not winning a game in 2 or 3 years or something, something like that. And so it's really talk about how the basketball team has really contributed to the pride at West and really generated a sense of community, because I mean I know that teams really sometimes can generate that among a student body and create an apathetic student body really gets involved and excited about things.
Yeah, we didn't want to come in and like, this is my 4th year. Omega was there 3 years at PC West. So when I first came in, I was seeing like the difference of the morale and student involvement, and I didn't hear about all the negativity, but I just knew it wasn't like a confidence about the athletes that were there and about certain students, and it was just one of those things that I'm used to that type of atmosphere where, when I mean that kids exude confidence, pride in their school, and that wasn't there. And I told the young men coming in the team and this was 2011. I told them, I said, hey, look, we have to act a certain way. We have to be able to on the floor and off, but noticeably right now what you see is, you got to start pulling your pants up. You got to start wearing around your waist, not under your buttocks or whatnot. So, from that to, staying up on your work. So we implemented that first year. We had study hall 2 days a week. We were talking about you always representing your school or your family first of all, and your school, and just this basketball team as well. So we tried to do things on like the days of game. The community was good at churches, the churches in the community, several different ones. I mean, I can go on and say the Gate, the Cube, Weston Oaks Church. I mean, Bethany Church of Christ. All of them. They just at different times came in and helped us out, with different pregame meals and whatnot. And I think some of the boys really, like, we started getting certain pregame meals that we like. We like, hey, we got to get this today, coach. And then, like, we get a big win, then we got to have it again the next time. So, well, I mean, it just
it's only weird if it doesn't
extra
work,
energy.
right?
Right. So, but the boys, I mean, they now, with coming in, I think we had one varsity player, and then my first year, and then was all like the rest of the team was like JV players.
Right.
And that year we were able to knock off number 2 team and the number 3 team at the time, Santa Fe and Midwest City, which great basketball teams at the time. Laughing because he was at Midwest City then.
Right.
But that's another story.
Yeah, and you guys both came from Midwest City too, which is a
Correct.
unique. That was where you were both before you came to West.
Right. Yeah.
So,
I mean, I've been around Midwest City program since probably '86.
right.
My brother, and just as a ball boy, I was just hanging around the players and whatnot.
Right.
And then as a coach, 7 years total as a coach over there, not consecutive because I moved away from DC and came back.
Yeah.
But it was a tradition that we had. But I noticed that it wasn't always there. When I came up, I remember winning 9 games as a sophomore, and the next year we win the semifinals, and then the next year win the championship game. So I can relate to what we're going through now with PC West. And hey, it wasn't always at the top, but now that you're there, you do set a tradition.
Yeah.
And that's as long as you have good players, year in, year out. It's easier on the coach to do.
It is easy to coach good players, right?
Yes.
Well, Omega, talk about from the players' perspective over the season. I know you guys got to experience a lot of things going down to Houston. I think you went down to Florida too, right? Mm-hmm. So those are some really cool experiences that you got to not just play in Oklahoma, and you're playing some of the top teams in the entire country, and kind of some of the keys that you saw as for the team to succeed like it did. Well, from your perspective.
I've been playing basketball a long time, and I've always had this mindset to where your relationship off the court is going to depict the way you play on the court. See, like if we're real close on the court, and off the court, we're going to gel together on the court, and we're just going to have fun. And that's what basketball was about for me, just having fun with my friends, family, and everybody on the team became like a brothers. Because like when we break it up, it'd be like 1, 2, 3 brothers. We wouldn't just say team like everybody else. And we was real close, and so that's just how we had to do it.
Yeah, chemistry's huge.
Chemistry.
Yes, I mean that's one thing that we looked at with when Tyson had his battle with and which is still going through. He's doing well. He's doing well right now with the blood clots, but that's it's like we increased our amount of victories as far as the margin of victory. I mean, it was like for a span it was something that me and Coach Greiner was doing. Your brother. Go ahead and say it. That we looked at, and I think our margin of winning went from went up like 15 points. It was because we played a different style, but at the same time, I think most of it was because of what he said off the court. I think they felt like they had to be there for their brother Tyson. And I mean, we went the last 10 games like averaging 90 points, and the team that we beat would average like 55. So,
well, yeah, talk a little bit more about your the philosophy of coaching and some of the life lessons that you try and teach the players. I know that when I played basketball and football, the things that I learned doing that are I apply the things that I learned in that in things other than basketball, and so it's an aspect of sports that people that have never played don't quite understand. So how do you facilitate that as a coach?
Well, I think that, if you go into business or if you go into government with politics, I think some of our great leaders are those of the former athletes. J.C. Watts, Steve Largent. I mean, so you can go on and say that they probably can all give you a testimony of how what they learned on that practice field or court, how it molded them for what they're doing today, and just by persevering through different obstacles. Well, I'm not easy to get along with, far as off the on the field or on the court. Sometimes it could be a challenge. We pride ourselves on being the best conditioned team in the state. As far as I remember making a comment to one of my friends. I said, if you don't have a six-pack, you can't play for us. But I mean, so I wouldn't be able to play. But
you can coach.
But just to go through different battles, adversity, like running in 105-degree weather in September, and lifting weights, and just at a different level though. Everything we want to do is at a different level, because it creates life lessons through adversity and through challenges. And then I create challenges, and our whole staff create challenges for the boys that go through that, for when the basketball game should be easy and be fun. But the ultimate goal is to prepare them for life and success after whatever sport or business they go into, where they can be successful in that, because they have to work together, which you have to work together when you work with your whatever business you go into, or you always have to have a boss, so you're gonna have to listen to your boss.
Always have to take commands from somebody.
Definitely, always. Even as the head honcho, you may think there's always someone of a higher power over that. So,
that's right.
But I think that this is why I know I'm into coaching. It's not about, hey, I'm a coach. It's not about the ego or pride. We got to win. Each year, I'm not very happy that we had a silver ball. I mean, that wasn't our goal. He knows. Right. I mean, Omega, what you think? You came under this year making what comments?
I want to win.
That's right.
Yeah, he wanted to win the gold ball, and we came up short. So, but it did so much for the school. Morale, like we talked about earlier, morale is up. Everyone's looking forward to the future of us, participating again each year. I mean, it's probably going to be a target on our back, which we embrace that.
Let's talk about next year. You've committed to UTEP, and kind of walk me through kind of what your plans are for the years to come.
Go to UTEP.
Yeah.
First, I gotta get this degree.
Yeah.
And then gotta come in and be a point guard. I need a point guard, so that's why I really choose UTEP, because I had to go where I was needed, not wanted. So, and they needed a point guard, and I was gonna bring them a point guard. And there's many other schools that wanted many point guards and signed like 3 or 4, so it'll be harder to work. And I want to go in, I want to play. So, I mean, it's not gonna be easier, but I'm just gonna put in more work to get on the court.
Right.
That's why.
And you're gonna be more in the vein of a Russell Westbrook point guard, correct? Is that what I've heard?
I've heard it before. They said I play like him sometimes.
Yeah.
But I just try to play like to win.
It's a good person to be compared to.
Oh yeah. Well, it depends what week it is. In Oklahoma, no, I'm talking about as far as Russell. He takes a lot of heat, but
yeah.
No, there are similarities. I mean, there are similarities between him. Their burst. Similarities to a lot of players. He's very talented. Omega is. But I think he each system will be different. He touched on. I don't want to get confused. I think he said something about where he's wanted and needed. I think he wanted to don't get that mixed up with far as he's afraid of competition. If there's other point guards there, he's the hardest worker every day, day in, day out. Not really vocally as much as, but I'm gonna show you. I mean, he's first in everything we do, and he works extra in everything as far as weight room. So, as far as when it comes to working out and doing his job, he's trying to be at the top. And I think once he, as you mature, there's other areas that he'll get stronger at. And he's going to, coach that he's going to, Tim Floyd, he coached for NBA, on the highest level, several NBA players right now. Not saying that that's the goal for him, but I think, like he said, he wants to get his degree. So that lets you know he's probably going to be there 4 years. So,
Right.
hey, I'm hoping he can go stay there 3 years, get it in 3 years, and we can see him on the next level one day.
That's right.
But-
And expectations for Wes next year are high. Are you expecting a gold ball next year, right? Not the
Oh
silver
yeah,
one.
that's always the goal. I mean, each year, you know, it's 32 teams, only one can get gold.
Yeah.
And this year we came a step closer. Each year we're getting farther and farther. So it has to be gold next year, you know, because we've reached every level in 4 years. So
Right.
pinnacle will be to
Well-
get this gold ball
Yeah.
and go on.
Well, good luck to both of you, and thanks for coming on.
No problem.
Thank you so much. Thank you.